Hello, students, and welcome. Have you ever looked at a very tall tree and wondered, how does water from the soil get all the way to the topmost leaf? It seems to go against gravity. Well, today, in our chapter on life processes, we are going to understand exactly how this happens as we study transportation in plants. So, this is our plan for today's class. First, we'll look at the main challenge plants face. Then, we will learn about their special two-pipe system. After that, we will follow water's journey to the top and see how food is delivered. And finally, we'll see why the plant system is so successful. All right, so let's jump right into our first section. I want you to really think about the biggest challenge for a tall plant. Just imagine a tall coconut tree. The water is in the soil, right at the bottom. How does it travel so many meters upwards, against gravity, to reach those leaves at the very top? It's a very interesting question, isn't it? So to solve this problem, plants have a very clever and very efficient transport system. You can think of it like a building that has two different types of pipes for two different jobs. Let's learn about these two transport tissues. Okay, so here are the two pipelines, xylem and phloem. Now look closely. Xylem is for water and minerals, and it's a one-way street, only upwards. And very importantly, the plant uses no energy for this. Phloem, on the other hand, is for food. It's a two-way street. It can go up or down, and for this, the plant needs to use energy. First, let's understand xylem. Think of it as the plant's water pipe system. It's a network of tiny, hollow tubes. Now, the interesting thing about these tubes is that they are made of non-living cells. They connect end to end and form one long continuous pipe all the way from the roots to the leaves, perfect for carrying water upwards. And then we have the phloem. If xylem carries water, phloem is like the plant's food delivery service. And unlike xylem, these tubes are made of living cells. Their job is to take the sugar, which is made in the leaves, and transport it to all the other parts of the plant that need energy, like the growing fruits, stems, and even the roots underground. So we know about the pipes, the xylem, but what is the force? What is the engine that pulls the water up such a great height? A plant doesn't have a heart or a motor to pump the water. So how does it work? Well, the answer is a simple and brilliant process called transpiration. It starts in the leaves. Water evaporates from the surface of the leaf through tiny pores. This loss of water creates a suction force, or a pull. You can imagine it like sipping water from a straw. This pull, called the transpiration pull, is strong enough to pull the whole column of water up through the xylem, right from the roots to the top. So, it's very important to remember that transpiration is not a waste of water. It is very useful. First, it is this pull that helps the roots absorb more water from the soil, and second, it also helps to cool down the plant, just like how sweating cools our bodies on a hot day. All right, so the water transport is clear, but what about the food? How does the sugar that is made in the leaves reach all the other parts of the plant? This process is called translocation. Now, moving food is an active process. The plant has to use energy. Let's see how. First, sugar is made in the leaves. Then, the plant uses energy in the form of ATP to load this sugar into the phloem tubes. This makes the liquid inside the phloem very concentrated. Because of this, water from the nearby xylem moves into the phloem by osmosis. This creates high pressure, and this pressure pushes the sugary food to all the parts of the plant where it is needed. This is a very important point, students. Please make a note of this for your exams. The transport of water in xylem is a passive process. It does not need energy. But the transport of food in phloem is an active process. It requires metabolic energy in the form of ATP. To finish up, let's just quickly compare the plant's transport system with something we are very familiar with, our own bodies. This will help us understand it better. Just look at this table. The differences are quite clear, aren't they? The biggest difference is that plants have no pumping organ, like our heart. They use physical forces. And because of this, their transport system is very slow compared to ours. Our blood moves very fast, but the sap in a plant moves very, very slowly. So you might be thinking, if the plant system is so slow, how is it successful? Well, the answer is simple. A plant does not move around like we do. It stays in one place. So it does not need a high-speed delivery system. Its slow and steady system is perfect for its needs. It is very efficient and ensures that every part of the plant gets what it needs to grow and live. And that is how plants have solved their tallest challenge.